3,000 Kenyan shillings is the only money you need to start investment. Kama unaweza afford kupata 3,000 Kenyan shillings hii mwezi, I want you to give me an ear. Hii pesa itakusaidia to become an investor. If your reasoning for being an investor was unafaa kuwe na millions of shillings or even 100,000 of shillings for you to even start investing, then you need to give me an ear, because I'm about to spill some good information for you guys. Information, I was like, I'm not going to do this alone. I want to start my journey of investment, and I definitely do not want to start alone. And if I can be able to get people to start with me, why not? Because at the end of the day, we are here to share information and grow together. Sawa. Information ya investment is something I dug some few months ago, and I was like, if this is something that is real, then let me tell it to other people. Ndo wapate kujua there is a way you can start investing with 3,000 Kenyan shillings. I'm literally talking about Reits, real estate investment trusts. So kama this is your first time umesikia the word Reits, then let me just walk you through. So Reits, so these are companies that own, they operate, they finance the income generation of real estates. So real estates kama apartments, hospitals, malls, and all these other things that you see around in terms of buildings. For a normal person like you and I, it can be really hard for us to have all the money, all the millions to go buy a land and then start the building and then put in all the materials and everything. It can be a hell of a journey, and it will take you forever. These companies, they come to give people like you and I a share of their company. So typical mwananchi like you and I can be able to buy shares from them and own a part of their apartments or their buildings. So kama ushaitembea kwa place ya mababi and you see some cool apartments and you're like, when will I ever get the money to even just own an apartment there, to even be able to pay rent and do things like Airbnb? Na unajua like this is something I cannot do, then you don't have to worry. You cannot be able to start with that, but you can be able to start with the smallest things that are around, and that's where Reits come in. So why should you even consider Reits before I even tell you how you can be able to buy yourself the shares? And to why. Number one is low capital to begin with. So you don't need a lot of money to be able to start investing in Reits. As simple as 3,000 shillings, you can be able to get yourself shares, units. You can be able to buy yourself units that you can be multiplying on a monthly basis. So you don't need to buy it once. You need to be able to have at least the least amount of money to start with the minimum units that they want you to start with. Is consistent passive income. So there's a point where you will reach after you have bought the units and the company is giving you dividends. There is an amount you'll be getting as dividends on a monthly basis, on a quarterly basis, on a yearly basis, depending on how the company pay people their dividends. So yours can be quarterly, monthly, or yearly. It's up to you with the company that you're in. Another thing is you will not have to go through all the hassle. You know how hard it is to deal na tenants? Like you being a landlord or even someone who owns an Airbnb, they can tell you it is a hassle dealing with tenants, from you having to have maintenance fee that's vitu zimeharibika tu kila mali. You need to have maintenance, you need to maintain mara maji, mara stima, mara, there's a lot. As a landlord, there's a lot of things that landlord have to go through. So you just being able to buy shares na unachia wengine they deal with it, it's a good way for you to be able to get yourself out of that hassle. It is a compounding wealth over time. So kama wewe ni mtu mwenye you are focusing on 5 years to come, on 10 years to come, then this can be a great investment for you. You can start very slow without having to focus it. In 2 months I'll be making money. No, it is something that will grow gradually, but by the time 5 years are coming, you'll be reaping good amounts of money because of the small amount of money you kept aside. So That is why you need to invest in these REITs. So let's get into the juicy part, is how do I start investing with that 3,000? So the first thing is you need to consider the company. You need to do a research of the company that you want to start working or investing with. For me, I went for Vuka. So Vuka, I don't know if you guys have seen their cars. So Vuka, they invest with students' apartments, so mostly. So these are like university students, for them to be able to get a comfortable place that they can be able to stay in as they are finishing their education. And it has been there for quite some time, and it's something I have considered. I have done my research, and I'm like, this is something I want to invest in. And when I did my research, when I called them and I had a discussion with them, the deal was good, because they were giving you, for 100 units, you were buying it at, as per now, as I'm recording this video now, it's at 23 or 24, either those two. I'll write it here. So that means for the 100 units, you'll be paying 2,400. That's the minimum amount of units you can buy, 100 units. But they were actually convincing someone, if you're a beginner and you can be able to get at least 5,000 Kenya shillings to start with them, it will even be better. But if you cannot afford 5,000, it's still possible for you to be able to start with the 100 units. That's why I said with 3,000, you can be able to start investing in real estate. But if you have 5,000, the better. It will be a game changer for you. And one thing about them is, one thing about investing in real estate and the kind of money that you'll actually be placing there, I was like, it's worth it. Because look, if I can be investing 5,000 on a monthly basis, buying units, for the next 2 years, for the next 3 years, for the next 1 year, you may not see a big difference. But if you give it 2 years, if you give it 3 years, you can be able to start now seeing the results in terms of the dividends you're paying and the money that you get out of there. At the end of the day, you will be making good money out of it. And in as much as all this comes up to you just making money, it is also building some discipline in you to start investing. I always say, if I won't earn money out of it, at least I'll earn a skill. I'll earn something. And for the first 1 year, maybe you'll not earn money, but you'll earn the consistency, the discipline to be able to be an investor. And if you can start investing with that, it means even when another thing comes, it will give you the push to be able to start investing with them. So real estate is the place to go, because people are always looking for money. People are always looking for places to live. At the end of the day, shelter is a necessity. We all need it at the end of the day, and people will always look for places. Real estate is one of the places that you don't want to miss out when it comes to investing. And if you're someone who can afford 5,000, why don't you just invest it? Or even if 5,000 is too high, if you can afford like the 3,000 like that I said, invest that 3,000 on a monthly basis to buy those units. And by the time the year is coming to an end, by the time 3 years are coming, you will start reaping the benefits out of it, and you will be able even to have grown other more investments. And if you feel like, if you reach a point where you feel like, I don't think I want to invest with them, you have an option to get out. You have an option to sell your units and get your money back. Yeah. So don't think that you need a lot of millions to be able to be a real estate investor or even any other investments. You just need to be committed. You need to look for the information, and you need to actually put yourself out there. There are opportunities for everybody to invest, especially real estate is one of the best places you do not want to miss out. So I hope you have found value in this video, and I hope someone is going to actually invest in Vuka or any other company that you are comfortable with. It doesn't have to be it, because they have not paid me for this. It's just that I feel like they are a good company, a growing company, but it doesn't mean that you have to go and invest with them. You can just go and choose the ones that you want, but at the end of the day, put your money somewhere that will grow and will add value to you. So from me to you again, it's, don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel, hit that notification bell, and like this video. From me to it, Bye bye, see you on my next video.